Hello again. My name is Rashida. Let me start off by apologizing for not having my face in the video right now. I just don't really want to be on YouTube at this time, but I felt drawn into, or I felt a magnetic pull to do these videos because I have experienced my twin flame, meeting my twin flame and having that experience of a union, even though it was for a short time, as I'm now undergoing a separation phase with him, where we're going through that runner-chaser dynamic. And what I wanted to discuss today has to do with the twin flame union. Is it a fairy tale? Is it some perfect scenario? With all things being perfect and in sync and going smoothly all the time. A lot of literature that you read out there might give you that impression. There's even some people that will argue that the separation phase doesn't exist, that the runner chaser dynamic doesn't exist, and that if you're having all of those problems, then this is probably a false twin. And I'm here to tell you, no, that phase very much exists in this dynamic, in this whole union. It totally exists, and meeting your twin flame is not perfect. It's not all roses and hugs and chocolate chip cookies and milk, Oreos and milk. If you understand what I'm trying to say, it's not a perfect scenario at all. Not all the time. When you meet your twin flame, it's like a meeting of yourself. Like you're truly looking in the mirror. I mean, a lot of all the relationships that you have in your life right now are pretty much reflections of yourself. Most of the encounters you have are reflections of yourself to an extent, but I would definitely say that this is the truest reflection of yourself you could find. Your twin flame. And I'm not talking this in a very typical way either, where you look exactly alike or everything about the two of you are identical. I'm sure there are probably twin flames out there who are like that, but I'm also here to tell you that that is not true. Sometimes you actually have a polarity of looks, like, you know, you could be of different races, or he's tall and thin and short and thick, or you understand, and black. Or, I'm just saying. So that's one thing to look at. The other thing you want to look at too is people think that they have a lot of similarities in personalities and traits, and even that too, not all the time, not always. There are a lot of similarities in a strange way. That's the best way I can explain it. But you're not identical. You're still you're still separate individuals on your own, with your own personal interests, and that's the whole point of this. He's the masculine and the feminine, and basically in the very beginning, when you're so separated into these two personas, it was to go off and go on your own experiences, and so you reincarnated over and over into various lives on your own at different stages, different points in time, to get different experiences, to come to gain a balance on your own, to strengthen yourself for when you would come to this point again in life where you would be reunited again, the ultimate reunion anyway. And so you know, you, because of that, there are similarities, I won't deny that, and there are aspects, a lot of things about this union that will, when you're joined anyway, will work to complement each other. Yeah, I can have a hard time putting my words together at times. It's so hard to explain my experience or put it in words. So I'm trying my best. Cause I know this is helping people. Um, but you know, your experiences in this life, your background, your culture. Because as I said, as I explained, you can come from very vast cultures, and I mean, I'm not, ours is not so vast in difference, but there is a definite difference, you know. Um, but all of these things come together to give you guys separate identities, you know. You do have your own interests, you have your own traits, and also you've experienced different past lives that have made impacts on your life today and who you are today as a individual soul. So I'm not here to tell you that you're both gonna be alike, like actual twins, and even actual twins aren't alike, as in physical twins. They're not alike either, you know. They're different individuals with separate identities and their own interests, and so with twin flames, it's not that different. Now, here's a very interesting thing I'll tell you. Um, with twin flames, what just know that whatever you're experiencing, or this is my experience anyway, whatever emotions you're experiencing, or whatever feelings or thoughts you have, are that much more enhanced when you are with your twin flame. Like, and so if you're having a really good experience, it's 10 times more enhanced. If you're having a really bad experience, it's 10 times more enhanced. It feels so dramatic, you know. If you're happy, you feel ridiculously happy. If you're content, you feel ridiculously content. If you're at peace, you feel, it's just enhanced to the infinite power, you know. And same thing, if one of you are feeling depressed or sad or angry or miserable, just multiply that by infinity. It's so try and picture that. And another thing too is you can't hide from your twin flame. They can't hide from you. So it's so easy for you to feel vulnerable in it, for you or him. And I'm talking from that dynamic because I am a female and my twin flame is a male. And that's another argument that I won't branch into, but I do agree that there is gonna be some form of polarity in the gender. And even if you identify as a same-sex union, you're still going to find that one person adapts that masculine identity and the other person um, adapts this feminine identity or energy to create that completion of union. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Everything is enhanced. All your experiences are enhanced, super enhanced. Your powers when you get together, so your skills, your traits, what you have to offer, what you have to bring, become stronger, and creative. I mean, I thought I lost my creativity. I thought I lost my interest in life. And when I met this guy, it was like I was motivated again. And any creativity I had was enhanced, and I wanted to express it in many ways. And sometimes you find talents or skills you thought you never had. They come to the surface. So a lot of things come to the surface. Any struggles you had with yourself that was holding you back from self-love, that also comes to the surface. And any emotions, any thoughts, anything that you're going through or experiencing individually, if you are with your twin flame, it's enhanced, and your twin flame feels it too. So you can imagine how hard that can be at times. I mean, it can be very difficult. Um, it can be a very difficult experience, and this is definitely part of why it's so hard for twin flames to stay together for long periods of time at a time, you know. It makes you so vulnerable, it makes you feel so raw and exposed and naked. Because there's just no hiding from them, you know. It don't even make any sense for them to lie to you or for you to lie to them, because they know. They know you like they know yourself. You know them like you know yourself, you know. Because it's pretty much yourself you're looking at. You know, so like with me, I was struggling with issues of self-love, which I told him about in the beginning when I met him. And I know sometimes when I would be with him, those issues would come up really strong for me, you know. I'd feel so vulnerable, I'd feel so exposed at times. And it can be really scary. And I can't even begin to imagine what he would be going through at times too. Um, Looking at some imperfection in me and feeling that it may remind him of himself in some ways, or bringing old wounds to the surface, so to speak. So, you know, trying not to sound too complex about this, but it's and you know, it's the first time I've tried to put in words what I've been experiencing since I met my twin flame. But I feel like these are reasons for why we're going through a separation phase right now, because let me tell you, it's a very, very, very intense experience. Um, Everything gets to the surface, you know. It's like a boil coming to head. Um, if one of you're angry, you're both gonna feel it, and you're both going to feel it intensely. If one of you're sad, depressed, you name it, it's gonna hit both of you hard. But when it's really good, it's really good. It's like, you know, that bubble phase that people talk about being the first phase of this union, or this meeting. When you're just in a bubble of unconditional love, you know, there's nothing wrong with your partner. Everything is perfect. Everything about them is perfect. It's just this perfect little bubble of unity and love and perfection. So, I mean, that too is another side of it, where everything is so intense and enhanced, and every feeling and emotion you have is so enhanced during that time too, you know. But it's just hard to maintain that sensation or that feeling for long periods of time, you know. And just if there are things that you're still working through, you know, lots of people feel that we're graduate souls, um, that choose to return, but and that, so meaning that you don't have problems with karma or stuff. But I feel even if you don't have any karmic problems, there's still imprints from your past lives. There's still things, certainly like ego and stuff like that, that we're struggling with, I feel. And especially because you're in this limited form, the human body, and you're in this limited plane, the physical plane, and you're squeezing all this consciousness into this limited capacity. There's still a lot of struggles and challenges with that, and it's like you still have to work through or remind yourself not to fall in those limited patterns that come with existing in the material or physical plane, existing in a physical body or human form, you know. So yeah, and the reason why you also feel so naked and vulnerable, I will agree, a lot of the psychic symptoms are enhanced too, you know, with your twin flame, when you're with them, when you're united with them. You're more psychic, you're a lot more psychic, you're a lot more clairvoyant, your dreams are a lot more vivid, your telepathy with this person is very strong. Like, I mean, and it's the very first experience with me and this person together. Like, I'm not talking about sex or anything. I'm just talking about being with this person. And I can tell you, it's like we could read each other. Like, he would make certain gestures and I would know what I mean. Like, or I would hesitate to do something and he would pick up on it, and he would pick up on why, and he would go and do it. It's just hard to explain it, but I'm trying. So these things, you feel very raw, you feel very exposed, you feel very vulnerable, and you know, when it's really good, it's really a beautiful experience. It's like you're in heaven, and that's why it's so hard to let go, you know. And but when it's bad or when it's dark, it's really really dark. It's because everything about it is intense, and it's like it's like you and it's you. You're both as you are you pretty much. You're looking at you. You know, you're looking at yourself, and if you thought that you struggled with yourself as it was as an individual, no, you have to deal with yourself multiplied by 2. So everything is intense, and they can pick up on everything that you're feeling. You can pick up on everything they're feeling, and there's just no hiding from any of it. And that's okay though. I mean, it's difficult and it's hard to experience this for long periods at a time. But it's okay, because that's what they're here for. That's why they're in your life. They're here to help you work these things, to work through these issues, any lingering things that you struggle with, whether it's ego, whether it's self-esteem, whether it's anger issues, abuse issues, whatever it is. They're here to help you work through it, so they know the right buttons to push to keep you uncomfortable. Yeah, to keep you uncomfortable, so that you won't grow complacent, that you'll work through these, especially work through them at an accelerated pace. And especially now, because I do feel there is a reason for why so many more people are meeting their twin flames at this time, and a lot earlier than normal, you know. Usually not everybody meets their twin flames, and a few people who do, they tend to meet them later in life. But no, a lot of people are, and at very young ages too, we're finding. And I feel there's a purpose, a grand purpose for it, something that's bigger than just the individual union purpose. It's on a grand scale, and so the universe is forcing people to work through lots of these issues, these lingering issues they have from past lives, and even this life experience at a very accelerated pace. And what better way than while you're in that union with your twin flame, you know, because everything is just that much more enhanced. The good, the shadow aspects, it's all enhanced. So while it can be really beautiful and romantic even and heavenly, it's like you're in heaven, and no, you'll never know a love like this. It's almost like an agape love or unconditional love. But at the same time, when it's dark, it can also be really dark, and it can be really difficult at that time, because you feel so naked and exposed to your twin during those times, and you feel like you can't hide those imperfections that you could hide in ordinary relationships, in even soulmate relationships. To an extent, you can hide these things or avoid them or dodge them. And with anybody, not just partners of the, not just your partner, your romantic partner, but with anybody, your parents, your family, you can hide things from them sometimes. But With a twin, you can't hide anything. They see right through everything. So that's all I want to say on that. I don't know if it makes sense because it's so hard to put in words what I've experienced, what I've been going through. But I hope it can be of comfort to somebody. And you know, the biggest thing I want to tell you that it's not all roses or a walk in a park. People, it's definitely difficult. It's definitely a difficult interaction at times. And you know, because there's a lot of literature out there that's going to try and tell you that it's perfect. When you read the literature, you get the impression that it's this perfect thing. And also a lot of the pictures out there that represents union, you know, it has all this, it has such a romantic look to it, like, oh, it's so, you know, it looks like some romance novel you read. And, you know, a lot of those things are true about it, or can be true about it, but, you know, I just want to tell you that it's not always perfect. And also I wanted to be encouragement to people out there who are struggling right now with their twin flame, or they met them and they're also going through the separation phase. I want to assure them not to doubt the situation, not to doubt their twin, not to doubt themselves or the identity of their twin. Because this is all a part of it, you know. But it's just for you to stay strong and work through it, and try to let go the ego, and try to see your twin in a very loving light, no matter what, you know. And this, you know, if you do this, then you will attract this from them eventually. And also to know that you're never separated forever. They always come back, or you always go back to them. Either way, even if it's not in this lifetime. So yeah, that's all I have to say on it. Let me know what you think. Let me know what your experience has been. Thank you.